Hello and welcome to AM Guitar with me, Anjay. Today we are looking at the NUX Ace of Tone Overdrive. Dual overdrive, actually. So, first of all, massive thanks to NUX for sending this over to me. The Fireman overdrive, the sort of heavy overdrive, seems very popular with you guys, so I thought I'd take a look at the Ace of Tone, which, for all intents and purposes, is their take on that classic dual overdrive, but it has two of their kind of popular pedals in one box. So, on the right-hand side, as you look down at it, on the right-hand side, you have their Morning Star, which is a blues breaker circuit, essentially, with some tricks. And on the left-hand side, you have their Tubeman MK2, which is their Tubescreamer. Again, with a trick or two up its sleeve. And there are lots of tricks up this pedal sleeve. Now, I haven't played with it much yet. I thought I'd do kind of a bit of a demo and a review blind, kind of. What I've played with does sound very cool though. So, here is my clean tone. I'm using my Maybury Guitars upscaler. Just lift the chair up a little bit. There we go. Maybury Guitars upscaler. Here is a completely clean tone. I'm on the NEC P90. I'm going to set everything to noon, and I'm going to turn on the blues breaker side. So a full gain, put a bit of volume into it. Sounds like a blues breaker to me, I like that. Now if I press and hold the foot switch, I engage the shine mode, which is like a little LED up here. So if I do that, I think you can see it, little LED shines just here. So it seems to, it alters the EQ quite a lot and gives it a bit more gain, it seems as well. Might take a little bit of the mid out and add some presence. Either way, I prefer that version of it. Okay, I'm going to drop the drive down a bit and just play with the tone controls. So we'll run it all the way off. Oh, I like that. So, let's switch over to the Tubeman side, the Tubescreamer. So instantly it has more gain. Let's lift the volume a little bit. Push the drive all the way up for fun. Roll the tone round. Yeah, I'm going to set that a little bit up. And then this side also has another mode. It has a fat mode. Might need some new strings on this. So the fat mode, again, it does what the kind of shine mode does. It just changes the EQ profile slightly, but it gives it a bit more body. That's pretty meaty, I like that. So I'm going to leave the two alternate modes on. Before I go into stacking them, which you can do, I also want to just point out that on the back of this, there are two toggle switches. One is to go with basically different types of buffer. Doesn't make any difference, well, true bypass and buffer. So I'm on buffer at the moment. Obviously, I've got another pedal, so it makes no difference, but they both work brilliant. Hello. Let the dog out. So obviously there's no difference for me with... Doesn't make any difference without any other pedals. But what does make a difference is there's an 18 volt and a 9 volt option. So I'm using 9 volt at the moment, which gives you theoretically less headroom. That's 18 volt. 9 volt. Possibly slightly more compressed at the top end on 9 and 18 volt. I'll leave it on 18 volt just for the time being. And there's one final toggle switch, and that's this one here. And this changes which direction the pedals are going to stack. So I'm going to start with the Tubescreamer. No, sorry, I'm going to start with the Morning Star, the Blues Breaker, going into the Tubeman, the Tubescreamer. So... So what's happening essentially is that the Blues Breaker is going to take on some of the tonal qualities of the Tubescreamer, because the last overdrive in the signal path with what shapes it and colours it, but it gives it a little bit more of the, it gives it a little bit of the Blues Breaker feel to it, and also kind of smooths out some of the EQ. What I can also do is hammer the Tubescreamer side. But then with the flick of the switch, I can go the other way, which is my personal preference, which is to go from Tubescreamer into Blues Breaker. So I go that way. And again, I can hammer it the other way. This is Tubescreamer into Blues Breaker. The other way around. So if you go Tubescreamer into the blues breaker, you get less gain. You go the other way, you get more gain because the Tubescreamer has more gain on tap. So. So I just heard something as I was flicking between the channels that bothered me slightly. So yeah, so when you turn on one of the pedals, the volume drops for a second. And I think it's because these are clever switches, they're relays, so basically it's not like a physical clicking switch, it's a soft switch which presses essentially a button on the board, and it needs that because it has the clever press and hold stuff. What seems to be happening is the relay's not fast enough to do it without a drop, so yeah, so even when you're actually adding one of the pedals in, when you're stacking them, as you stack it, you get this drop in volume. And my heart sank a little bit for that because it means that, right, okay, so this sounds epic. I absolutely love the tones in this, really love the tones in this. And if I wanted to record with this, which I probably will do, it's ideal because you can set the tone you want and record with it and it will sound beautiful. If you want to use this as a way of just setting a kind of a background low gain tone with a bit of control over how it's stacked, and you just leave it on, it will also be perfect. The issue for me would be I couldn't use this live on my board because I'd want to switch it on and off. And if you're in kind of a it's always going to drop your signal as you're playing, it's going to be really annoying in the long run. So whilst it sounds amazing, it actually loses some of its capabilities as a live tool by being too clever, I think. That said, and that little sort of aside, this is a great sounding pedal. I mean, the tones in it. I mean, the tones are top quality, absolutely top quality, and I would put these tones up against any of the dual overdrives that I've used. For me, it just loses a little bit because that drop in and out as you turn the switches on just means that live it becomes really impractical to use this, unfortunately. Now, that's not to say, like a lot of boards, when a lot of people with big boards will have a loop switcher. So if you wanted to have this set up with a tone you want and you put it into the loop, that won't cause any problems either. So it's not completely unusable live. For me, because I don't use switches particularly, I wouldn't be able to put this on my board, but I absolutely would record with this because, like I said, it sounds fantastic. So there you go, the NUX Ace of Tone. Great sounding pedal, lots and lots and lots of options. One possible downside to the way it's been done, but for a lot of people that won't cause any issues at all, just because I'm picky. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd really love to hear what you think about this. It sounds amazing. I'll put the price on the bottom of the screen, but it's not hugely expensive when you compare it to other Bluesbreaker inspired dual drives that take 4 years to turn up on your doorstep, that kind of thing. And yeah, great tones, good value, great looking box. Let me know what you think. Get into the comments, like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.